One of the biggest tricks people play on themselves, not the biggest trick, not the convincing themselves that they're not God and not believing the whole fact that everything that exists that can be conscious of itself is itself a miracle. And that is what existence is. There's no other explanation possible besides the fact that you're here existing right now. And so are trees, and so are plants, and so are animals, and so are people, and everyone else, and all things. Yeah, being here and existing is what matters. If anything does, that's all, because it's solid. Seems to be. It appears to be. But this is one of the other things that people play on themselves, and they don't even know they do it. So this is like one of the top 5, I would say, is that people think that the ones that, a lot of people do, not everybody, but a lot of people think that the people in their positions either belong there or are the best for it. Now, I'm just going to use from a certain example. Let's say like a little boy loves his parents so much, his mommy and daddy, you know what I mean? And like there's a guy who can pick up twice as much as his father, but the little boy thinks his father is the strongest guy ever, and he's like, my daddy's stronger. You know, that's just a simple little thing. But let's go along to say something like, I know for a fact, or I know pretty well, that if I was to run the show where we're at with the bakery, I would get things in order. I would not change the way things are operating. People aren't looking into details to see if it actually works better before they try to do something new. The new things they do are actually worse than they used to be in every way possible. There's not one plus side to it. So it's one of those things where the people that are in their positions in the office that don't go out in the field and do anything besides go and talk to people, and they don't like have to do any delivering. Maybe they have before. I'm not saying they haven't. More credit, more power to them. Nothing bad about it. But they're not looking into the details like they may think they are, but they're not. Because if they were, they wouldn't bring things that make it more inconvenient for everybody. And there's no convenience added, at least, and none at all. But that's an example. People think that the guys in their positions know what they're doing. Not sure why, because they obviously don't, or else things would be running better. They're getting worse as time goes on. And let's look at the people in positions like the governors of most states right now, going along with what they're told to do, knowing that a government that, you know, if they are not sure, let's say, like, I know for sure that everything is fine. There are, I'm sure, tons of people in the government who aren't in the know of the people who are in the deeper knowings of deeper stuff that's going on behind the public social back, you know. But let's say some people there are trying and striving to make the country a better country, or make their countries and other countries better countries, you know. They're trying to make those places better. You know, we're all one anyway, so all those words don't mean shit, but at the same time, we're trying to explain. So, you know that there's some people, like, there's good cops and bad cops. There's good government agents and bad government agents, and other people who work for the government or have those kind of jobs that are good people. They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money. They're just trying to be good with their family. You know, they all have their faults, and a lot of them don't recognize other living things for what they are, but that's fine. So the thing is, not all people belong in their position. In fact, a lot of people, right after they get started, they sort of slack because they go hardcore right at the beginning. They go all gung-ho, and then after they get their position and they get comfortable, they sit back and they slouch. And we all know this. So the people that are in control right now, or in charge right now, aren't the best for the position. And people aren't listening to people who, like for another example, if Eminem, for example, like, just, I don't know who's popular right now, but Eminem used to be popular for hip-hop. And if Eminem were to come out with an album with the songs that I have, exactly, saying what I have, the world would change. Because he has the popularity and it would get to so many people. But since I don't, even though my songs are as good, you know what I mean? His are good in their own way. I'd say mine have better messages, so I'd say they're better, but it's not that's an opinion, and at the same time it's actual, because what I'm saying is more meaningful. Yes, God is in all forms, doing all things, is appealing to different people, and he opened up the eyes at that point in time, and now it's this point in time, the next step up. So neither is better or worse, but one has a better message to it. So if I was to have as many people, if Eminem were to have the songs that I have out, and it's not even a competition thing, it's just one of those things where I'm using it as an example, that it's just the message is better. It's better for people. And if more people heard that, they would absorb that. They would hear that message, and they would not fight back, but they would, speak up for themselves, and they would be more accepting and compassionate during the whole process. But the whole thing is now we're all taught to fight back, and we're all like fed shit that makes us worry. And people, they either like run in fear or cry or get ready to fight when they're in fear or stressed out. So we have to have a way to get past this, and the music is an answer to get to people. I want to find a way to get it out there, but at the same time, I am such a spiritual being, and have had such a meaningful merging with the divine, that my music itself doesn't really matter to me much anymore. I'm still great at it. I love my ability to perform and be creative, and in fact, it's 10 times better. But I don't want to focus on it, as if I don't have people that want to work with me on it, I'm not going to spend my time trying to learn how to edit and process and mix and master and do all that stuff, because that's not what I want to do. I have a more meaningful message to give to people, and I have thousands of things I have to edit and go through and look for to give old messages and channelings and stuff. I mean, they're very, very meaningful, truthful, and straightforward. So people will see the vulnerability and the transformation I went through as I broke down and cried, thought I was dying, didn't know what I was doing, where I was, who I was, what's going on in the world, why is this happening, why are my kids leaving. So I went through the personal stuff, the spiritual stuff, the demonic stuff, everything. I've been through everything. I've been dinosaurs, all of them. I've been everything. I've been the shell of an egg. But I mean, those things don't matter to sit here and blab out, because it doesn't make sense to people when I say it. But in a timeless way, I've experienced everything there is. From Dan's point of view, I haven't felt them, touched them, and seen them or stood next to them in physical form. Not all of them, but a lot of them I have. And a lot of them, I remember those lifetimes as if the whole thing was lived, and it's a memory just in my mind that I remember. Because my mind isn't inside my head. It's the whole universe. And everybody gets that. But if you talk like that, people just think oh, he's talking big. But everyone should, because they are that too. Everything, it all makes sense. And, science says the same thing, but I don't need to have science tell me. I've experienced it myself. In fact, I am it all the time. But I'm just saying that's one of the things that we do, is we think everybody in their place is where they belong, or they're the best at it. But we all actually, when you really just take one simple second to think about it, you realize that that's not at all right. One person can be better at something one time and worse the next time even. You can try something and another person can try the same thing and not do as good, and not be as consistent, or not be as accurate, or not be as, anything. So we have to stop, lying to ourselves and then saying other people are causing an illusion when it's us. It's inside your own head. So you have to know what's right or wrong. Other people may say something, but they may not know that they're mixed up. So it's not their fault. So, and sometimes you can tell when people are lying to you, and you just sort of, give them a smile, sort of, maybe if you need to, you call them out, but if not, you just give them a smile and move on. You stay away. Don't worry about it. So, anyway, that's all for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Even though y'all are me and I'm y'all, so y'all. I don't use that word too often, but I was just being goofy. So, peace.